It is the go-to place for tourists and Montrealers alike, but a mountain in the middle of a bustling city can present challenges. Well, now there is a guide in the form of a comic strip to educate people on how to better protect Mount Royal and everything that lives on it. Marie-Claude is Communications Director for Les Amis de la Montagne. Thank you so much for being here, Marie-Claude.
Thank you, Suda. Pleased to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you. So, Les Amis de la Montagne, they've been here around for 35 years. Why a comic strip now?
Well, you know, as you said, Mount Royal is in the middle of the city during the pandemic, and even today, now that we have a little bit more freedom, we have lots and lots of visitors on Mount Royal, and that puts a lot of pressure on the mountain's ecosystems. And we wanted to find a way to make our messages a little bit easier to understand for everyone who visits the mountain, be they tourists or be they people who live in the area, of people of all ages, all walks of life. So we thought that comic strips were a good way to not be, too moralizing about sending out messages that are positive to help out the environment. So we thought, that the comic strips would be a good way to broach the subject with many people.
And they are informative, because I looked at a couple of the messages, and they're simple, and they're things like the risk of leaving an apple core or even a banana peel on the ground thinking it's biodegradable, but that could be, it's not part of that environment, so better not do that. Or like, walking or cycling off designated trails. It may not be safe. It may not be good for, you could be trampling on species, like all sorts of interesting tidbits of information, the way they explain it. It's quite interesting, actually.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. That's the whole idea. We want this to be approachable. We want it to stimulate conversation. And to have, kids maybe even, showing this to their parents and saying, look, maybe, why did we throw that apple core out into the woods? Maybe it's not such a good idea to do that. And here's why.
Yeah, so that's interesting. Just talk to me a little bit about the artist.
Michel Hellman is our cartoonist. He's a Montrealer. He's a Franco-Montrealer, and he loves the mountain. He's on the mountain practically every day. He walks through the mountain, and we explored with many different cartoonists in Montreal. We wanted someone local. We wanted someone whose love for the mountain came through, and he was very interested in working with us, and the process has been great so far. As you see on the website, there are 6 episodes, but there are more coming out. They'll be coming out every 6 weeks or so, and we work with him, talk to him about some of the issues that we face on Mount Royal, and he comes up with these ideas, we work.
And you have different stakeholders around the mountain. Now, biodiversity, will be the buzzword next week when Montreal hosts the COP15 conference. How do you think this comic strip could inspire change in people?
Well, COP15 is all about protecting nature and halting maybe the loss of biodiversity around the world. And this comic strip is an effort to do just that, but in our own backyard as Montrealers. That's precisely what we're trying to do on Mount Royal. So I think the timing, even though it wasn't necessarily intentional, the timing is great, because, all of these little lessons that are being taught via this comic strip are applicable to Mount Royal, but they're also applicable to nature in general. And the idea is to help nature give back to us, because nature, is there to gives us so many services that we're not even aware of.
Exactly, and it's all part of the conversation. Marie-Claude, thank you so much for sharing your insights on this comic strip about Mount Royal tonight. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much.